What's up, guys? Rob from LegitBrowniesGaming here, bringing you another episode of the week-long wind down. And this episode, the gameplay you're gonna see is some R.U.S E, which is a World War II strategy game. I highly recommend it. It's a very good game. I don't know if a ton of you guys out there play it or have played it. Um, if you're looking for a good strategy game, it's definitely a good one. It's probably my favorite strategy game that I own. Um, but that's really besides the point because that's not what this commentary series is about. Um, our topic for today is going to be about life and just kind of a general discussion about life. So we'll start with the question everyone wants to know, which is like, what is the purpose of life? Why are we here? Personally, I mean, I think the purpose of life is to enjoy yourself, and I'm not talking about oh, I do drugs every day and I smoke pot every day and, rob banks and fuck bitches, get money. Like, because while that may be enjoyable at the time, I mean, it doesn't really give you a long term sense of enjoyment. And I mean, there's a difference between pleasures and like real things that have meaning. And I mean, you know, what may have meaning to me may not have meaning to someone else, and what may have meaning to someone else may not have meaning to me. But it's all a matter of perspective. But I mean, like I said, um, uh, to me, when I think of something that has meaning, I mean something that's gonna last. Like I don't know, getting a job, right, and really enjoy really enjoying that job. I mean, if it's something if you work, if you like what you do as a job, you will never work a day in your life, and I really believe that's true. And that's why when I get older, I really want to find a job that I enjoy because I don't want to be stuck working some job that I'm not liking because then I'm not going to put in the full effort and um then be doing lackluster work. But I mean, think about it. If you're even if you're being paid to do something, it's not like yeah, getting paid is great, and it's this incentive to do work, but I mean eventually it's not going to last. I mean eventually you're just going to be like, you know what, getting paid really isn't worth it because I hate this. um so when think of stuff that has actual meaning, I mean, I don't want to be like stereotypical here, but I mean like a relationship, right? um it's something that's deeper. It's something that's like a connection with another person. And I mean, it should be an enjoyable thing. I mean, you should really get this feeling out of it that, yeah, there's someone out there that actually, cares about me more than other people would. So, like, being in a relationship, well, you might not necessarily use the term enjoyment so much. I mean, it's a great thing about life. Even not being in a relationship, I mean, you could be single and you could have like this hobby that you just love to death. Like if you play a sport, right, and you put all your energy and all your focus towards the sport and you love playing the game, that's enjoyment. You're getting enjoyment out of that. Um, so I think the purpose of life is really to find something that you connect with. Find something that I mean, not even necessarily just something. I mean, if you just enjoy life, I mean, I try and be a happy person as much as possible. I try and stay positive, and this actually reminds me of a quote by Ilya Bryzgalov of the Philadelphia Flyers. If you guys don't watch hockey, you might not know who that is. Um, he's the starting goaltender for the Flyers. He used to be a Phoenix Coyote, and he was also an Anaheim Duck previously. And there was a show they were doing on HBO, and they interviewed him because apparently he had been like really into the universe and like he had been talking a lot about it, and so they interviewed him, and basically, I'll read the quote to you, and I'll pick apart what what it really is about. Because on the surface, this quote might seem a little dumb. Uh, it might seem a little pointless. So, I'll read it out, and we'll see what I can do with it here. The quote starts, and it says, I'll start at the significant point, and he says the solar system is so humongous big, right? But I mean, he's Russian, so he's like the solar system is so humongous big, right? But if you see like our solar system and our galaxy, and like on the side, like it was so small, like you can't even see it. Our galaxy is so huge, but I mean, if you see the big picture, our galaxy is like a small, tiny dot in the universe, and we have some problems here on the Earth that we worry about compared to like nothing. Just be happy. Don't worry. Be happy right now. And while it may seem on the surface that it's just some moron rambling about the universe and he's pointing out obvious things, oh yeah, the solar system is big. Oh, didn't know that. What really comes down to is the last two lines, which is don't worry, be happy right now. And he's not, it may seem like he's downplaying any problems that we have, but he's not really downplaying it. If you think about it, what he's saying is like, we all have problems. I mean, everyone has an issue at one point in life or another. No one's infallible. No one's perfect. No one's gonna breeze through life, not having any issues with anything. Um, so what he's saying here is like, yeah, we're gonna have problems, but if you really think about it, I mean, you can move on. I mean, think about the scope of an issue you may have right now, and I mean, I'm not downplaying anyone's issues. There are legitimate issues out there that need to be addressed, but think about the last thing that really upset you. And I mean, if it's a case where it's like the last thing that really upset you is that you didn't get something you wanted, or you couldn't go hang out at a friend's house because you had to clean your house or something. I mean, we can just, I mean, if you think about it, does it really matter? I mean, hell, I mean, even if you like fail a test or something, in the grand scheme of things, that one failed test really isn't gonna impact your life all that much. I mean, even if you fail like a Regents or like an AP test or like an SAT or an ACT, yeah, it may look bad on your transcript, but you can always just, you can specialize to a field that doesn't require that. I mean, there are plenty of great people in this world who didn't, or who didn't, not even didn't go to college, or they dropped out. I mean, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. I mean, they are they might have seen some people might have seen them dropping out as college of as some huge issue, but I mean, if you really think about it, they're two of the most successful people in the world. So any problems that they might have had, they kind of just looked past and said, "Well, look, I might have this problem now. I might have just dropped out of college. I might have just screwed myself now, but we can move past it. I can move past this little issue that I have now, and I can move on and do something bigger and greater." And I mean, even you know, if it's something very big, like say someone close to you or someone that you know passes away, unfortunately, it's very hard. Obviously, it's a time where you are very upset if you were very close to the person. It's a time of a lot of sadness, depression. Um, Unfortunately, in some cases, it can be anger. Um, if it's like a small family in a house and someone might die, it might lead to some problems. So it's a very tough time for everybody involved. But if you think about it, yes, it's very sad, and yes, this person is gone. But what is the best way you can like honor their memory or something, or keep reverence in their name? And to me, it would be to live a happy life. Like if I died tomorrow, um, if I passed away tomorrow, I wouldn't want everyone to be. I really wouldn't want people to be. I would want people to be upset. Obviously, I would want people to care. But my main concern would be don't let it bother you that much. I mean, it's unfortunately it's part of life, right? And I want you guys to move past this and live your life because, I'm gone. Just because I'm gone, I'm dead, doesn't mean that you can't live this great successful life. I don't want, you know, this to really impact the way you choose to live. Um, Obviously, I don't want people to just be like, yeah, that kid's stupid. I'm glad he's dead. But I don't want people to, still be crying about it like 10 years from now. I would want them to be like, he was a really good person, but unfortunately, it's just time to move on. So, always you can keep them in the back of your mind. You can keep them in reverence, but we can move past this. And there's a lot of ways to move past this. I mean, even if you have a major problem, like say you have a medical condition, like say you have schizophrenia or Tourette's syndrome or something, there are ways to move past that as well. There are support groups out there. And I think that's a major part of moving past things is support groups. I mean, just talking about problems can really help. This goes back to what I was saying with conflict resolution. I mean, talking is the way to do it. Get your side of the story out there. Other people can help you relate. Um, Other people can share their stories. And it really does help to know that you're not the only one out there. I mean, we live in a world of billions of people, so chances are if you have a problem, someone else somewhere has had that issue as well. So being able to hear these stories of people that have had these problems and have moved on and have lived successful lives, it helps. And it can be really inspiring. Um, it's part of life, moving past things. And honestly, life is good. Life gets better. I mean, if you're in a hard time right now, um, I know a major problem a lot of kids face is bullying. Especially if you're homosexual, um, lesbian, bi, sexual, you know, any of those things. That bullying is a major problem, and you've you can't take what they say as fact. Although it may seem like everyone is against you, there's always someone out there that has that same problem as you, and there's always someone out there that even if they don't have that problem, they're willing to sit there and listen to your stories, and they're willing to help you move on. So life gets better. I mean, it may seem impossible now, especially if you're in like high school and like it seems like everyone's against you. It may seem like there's no way out. It may seem like you're just being singled out. Everyone hates you. There's no point in even living anymore because everyone hates you. You're never going to amount to anything. But I'm telling you, life gets better. People, it's like with moving on, like you can power through it. And eventually, I mean, you will find those people that they could care less what your sexual preferences. They're going to see you as a human being and they're going to appreciate you for what you are. So, um, there's also been a lot of talks, well, not necessarily a lot of talks, but like a lot of stories of like teenage suicide and stuff. And it's, it really hits me because, I mean, I tend to be such a positive person. Like, I try and look on the bright side of things. When someone else has a problem, I try to help them. If I have a problem, I usually try and talk to somebody about them. So it's it's weird to me that someone could be so upset that they would do that. But then again, I've never really had that problem, so I don't understand. I am not that person. I don't know what they're feeling. But if someone would come to me and explain their story, like I'm being bullied for this, this, and this, I would sit and I would listen to them and I would try and help them. I mean, that's just how I'm hardwired. I'm hardwired to deal with problems through talking. So I can help other people. To me, there's no point. What's the point in committing suicide? I mean, to get rid of all this pain, to get rid of all this torture. But then what happens after? I mean, do you think the bullies, I mean, they might care, they might stop, but I mean, a better way to power through any depression and thoughts of suicide is to think of what you can do and what you will do. Um, in 10 years, if you're in high school or whatever, in 10 years, you could be running a successful multi-billion-dollar industry. You could be, um, this great politician, or you could be this great humanitarian. Even if you're not going to be this world-renowned person, you could be something as simple as a parent, but you will be a hero to somebody if you are just a parent. You will be somebody's mother or father, and that person will look up to you. So if you end it now, you'll never get that chance to show how great you truly are and how great you truly can be. So that's just my little thought on it. I wouldn't do it because it it doesn't give you a chance to truly show the world what I can be. And if you ever, like, I don't know if you want to think of it in this terms, but if you want to prove something to somebody, the best way to prove something to somebody is by doing it. So if you're being bullied because, say you're bisexual and you're being bullied, um, and someone says you'll never amount to anything, then amount to something. Do something. Like I said, even if it's something as simple as being a parent, you can do something, and I guarantee you that you will prove everyone wrong. That will be the way you will prove people wrong because you are worth it. So life truly does get better. There's not as much I can see out there that would truly never get better. I mean, even if you have unfortunately something as serious as like a terminal disease, um, your life can get better if you. I see this like the guy who made the videos when he had a terminal disease, and the comments in the section, the comments in the comment section saying, these videos inspired me to keep going. These videos inspired me to keep on living, to keep on fighting. Um, Even if it's something like that, your life can get better by making other people's lives better. Um, it's it's inspiring. What some of these people do. I mean, that's probably one of the hardest things to do is to live knowing that you have something as unfortunately as bad as a terminal disease. But you can make an impact on someone else's life. You really can. I mean, that's the thing is that's what I want to do is I want not have a terminal disease, but I want to you know do something in my life that's worth it and that people are going to look upon even after I'm gone, and they're going to be like, wow, he really did something that was worthwhile. He was really a great person, and I mean, like I said, even if it's something like being a parent, your grandchildren will look at you and just say, wow, he or she really did something great. So what have I really talked about? Life, moving on, life gets better, legacies. What else? Life pays its dues. It really does. I mean, if you've been like, if it seems like life has been screwing you over, as much as possible, and everything sucks and nothing goes your way, the universe pays back. It really does. You know, I mean, with a certain age group, like in high school, I mean, that kid that everyone else on your friends is having relationships or getting straight A's, and you're kind of in that C section, like you're getting C's, and you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever. I mean, eventually, if you're a good person, life really will pay you back. Even if it's like in the future, you'll be walking down. I mean, this is like really hypothetical, but I mean, in the future, the universe will pay you back. Like if you're just walking and like you have a job or whatever. I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this. I mean, you get a promotion or something. I don't know, but life can't stay bad forever. That's my point. It truly can't. I mean, the thought that for 70 years or 80 years of your life everything's gonna suck. It's literally pretty much impossible. So I mean, even if you have to struggle through, a majority of your life into your young adulthood or whatever, even if you're like 60, life can't be bad for life can't be too much I can't think straight. Oh my god. Um I'm sorry, this is like really bad. I'm like struggling for words here. My point is that as desperate as your situation might seem, um, it'll get better. It will. So that's my little spiel on life, kind of all over the place. Um, talk about some other things. I mean, life is pretty quirky. It really is. I mean, like you see all these stories of guys that are like, "Oh, I fell off this 200-foot building and I landed on my head, and I was in a coma for like 3 days, and then I woke up and I could just walk." Well, I mean, that's kind of like that's the stupidest thing I've ever said in my life. Obviously, you die, but I mean, life can be pretty quirky, and I mean, a major thing about life that I notice is it can seriously depend on the people that you put around you. So I mean, if you surround yourself with good people, if you surround yourself with true caring people, I mean, that really will have an impact on your life. But I mean, if you're surrounding yourself with like these people that are all down on themselves and down on luck, and they don't want to do anything, they're just like, oh, blah blah blah. I mean, that's gonna have an impact on your attitude. And I mean, it's like with parents. I don't remember where I heard this quote. It said, childhood is like a window. Some parents will leave a smudge and other parents will just break it. So I mean, it's it's pretty weird thing to think about, but I mean, if you just keep your good friends with you, the ones that'll support you and talk to you. I mean, life is pretty good. Life can be pretty good. And I mean, there's a cliche that says like there's always someone out there that's worse off. I mean, I agree with that, and I think it's true. But what if like what happens to that one guy? Where does it end where that one guy is just like nobody in the world has it worse than me? Like, who's that one guy that can't say that, right? I mean, if you think about it, there's like 6 billion people in the world, so there's got to be one guy just sitting there going, "Shit, I'm that guy that no one else is worse off than me." And you know what? If you're that one guy, then I apologize, but I don't know. It's just life is really worth it. It really is. I don't know what else to say other than that. I mean, his video is almost over. It's just me mopping up the last of his units, so I think I'm going to end off my commentary here. I was also thinking of doing a new series, which you might see soon, but I don't know because I have the GM mode and I have this series, so might not want to start another series, but eventually I'll do a update video to the channel where I'm actually talking instead of it just being not Microsoft Word, Windows Movie Maker, because that video was kind of terrible at life, but I just had to get that information out there. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess people would be pissed. I don't know. But, This video is coming to an end, guys, so I will see you later.